What's up, everybody? And this is Danny back looking at the Sony Xperia Z unboxing and first impressions today. Really excited, so I'm just going to jump right into it and we'll go over the specs while we're opening this box. So let's go ahead and open this box and see. And there is the new Sony Xperia Z, and this is the white model, UK unlocked. So let's just go ahead and put the phone to the side and see what else comes in the box. And looks like there is a front and back protector with microfiber cloth and an application card there. So that's pretty cool that they include that. So let's go ahead and see what else is in here. And what comes in the package is definitely going to matter where you are location wise. The other Sony phones are like that too. You might get a dock with it, but the UK spec looks like it's just going to get a UK spec power brick. And let's see what else comes with it. And the micro USB to USB connection, and it also comes with some headphones as well, so we'll go ahead and test that. But usually the Sony headphones that come with their phones, they're pretty good in general, so pretty good bass response, things like that. So I'll test that out for you. And some earbuds, and here is the startup guide just in case you need it, and some other probably not important things, even though it says it's important. Some warranty information, FCC, blah, 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 whatever this is. We're just going to throw them out one by one. We'll never look at those. So let's jump right into the phone specs. And the big deal about this phone is this 5-inch 1080p reality display that you see in front of you. And it is powered by a quad-core Qualcomm Snapdragon 1.5 gigahertz S4 Pro. So the same processor you see in like the Nexus 4, running 2 gigabytes of RAM and Android 4.1 Jellybean right out of the box with Sony's UI on it. So let's just take that back off, and you can see that it's glass construction, but it comes with the front and back protectors already applied right out of the box, so you don't even have to worry about applying them. And it is fully waterproof and dustproof with the flaps closed. And I will do a full separate video on the waterproof and dustproofness of this phone. On the back, you'll see a whopping new 13 megapixel Exmor RS camera sensor with LED flash that has a whole bunch of features, and we'll go over that later. It also features NFC, as usual, and it has a big Xperia logo right on the back to let you know what phone this is. Now, on the right side of the device, you will see a micro SIM card slot being covered by a flap as well. And then you will notice this amazing looking power button that's on there. And you can see it's constructed of metal. It looks really awesome. Very pronounced on the side. Really easy to get to. Very tactile. And you will also see that there are volume rocker switches right there. And those are also very tactile. Kind of weird placement that's a little bit lower on the hand on the right side, but you will definitely get used to them, and it looks really nice. And the way it's built, I think you'll like the build quality of this phone. And you will see that there's an oddly placed speaker right below the volume rockers as well, with a lanyard built in. On the opposite side, you will see a micro SD card expansion and these 2 gold prongs that will also power different docks and things like that for charging. And it also has a micro USB charger on the same side. And on the top, you will see the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, but that is also covered by a flap. So if you don't like flaps, then you're definitely not going to like this phone. But if you pull it open, there's the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack exposed. So shouldn't have a problem with the headphones there. But you definitely have to have these flaps closed if you want dustproof and waterproof. Can't leave these open. This phone supports global HSPA+, and it does have LTE, but I'm running it on AT&T right now, and it does not have the proper bands to support AT&T LTE. So there's your HD front-facing camera, LED notification light, your main speaker grill for your phone calls, and your main microphone for your phone calls. So let's go ahead and start this phone up and see what it's like on boot. So you can see that nice pronounced power button on the right-hand side. So there's the Sony logo splash. And there are a lot of new 1080p phones coming out this year, and I would like to compare them. And I think that this is one of the first ones to come out this year, but there's a lot of them coming out in the next couple months. So make sure you subscribe to my channel so you can go ahead and watch these comparisons. But there's a nice splash right there, which is really cool. And there you go. Really fast boot up, by the way. And that was all real time. And you can see this nice animation when you go to unlock the screen. So very cool. Very color vibrant on the screen, by the way. and looks really good. And I don't know if it translates the camera very well, but it's going to ask me for an English language or whatever country that you're in. So let me just go ahead and get this set up and come back to you. So here's the phone all powered up, and you can see that the Sony UI is on top of 4.1 Jellybean, and it looks really good. This screen is really nice, by the way. It definitely, the 1080p resolution is really, really nice on here. The colors are really vibrant. You can see it's running really well on this quad-core processor. So this is probably the most powerful phone that Sony's ever put out. If you know about the Xperia S, it definitely was a little bit behind the pack at the time, but finally here it looks like they're here with the modern processor and with a pretty good skin here, as you can see, that helps with different toggles and things, and it's pretty nice. So Sony does put a lot of their own software on here, like this movie aggregator here, and that you can get movies and things from. And it looks like there comes with some of them already on board, so this is pretty cool if you want to kind of test out what these movies look like on this Bravia engine on this 5-inch 1080p screen. So let's take a look at this HD landscapes and see what it looks like. The screen looks good, but you can see that the viewing angles are a little bit tricky here. Like when you look at it straight on, it looks beautiful, but when you start to kind of tilt it a little bit, the viewing angles are not the best. But if you don't really care about viewing angles, I don't think you'll have a problem with this at all. Did you hear the speaker just get dim right there? That's because of that weird placement on the speaker on the right lower corner. And I'll definitely do some more testing to see if that's going to be a definite annoyance. But overall, the phone is very good looking, and I think you will like it overall on build quality. But I think the biggest comparison right now, besides the Droid DNA, is to the Oppo Find 5, since it is unlocked. It's approximately the same price, actually a bit cheaper. And it definitely packs a 1080p screen with the same quad-core processor, 2 gigabytes of RAM. So definitely the thickness of it, if you look at it, the Xperia Z looks a little bit thinner, but it's really, really close here. And the Oppo Find 5 is definitely heavier. It feels a little bit stronger and a little bit tougher in the hand there. But the Xperia is very light, and it feels good in the hand as well. And you can tell that the Xperia is made of glass while the Oppo is a polycarbonate plastic. And they're very, very similar in size. But what about the Nexus 4? You can see the Nexus 4 is pretty comparable, but a little bit smaller. And there's the Galaxy S3 right there. So very similar in size. Even though they're 5-inch screens, they don't look that much bigger. But the 1080p screen, you can definitely tell the difference. So before I go, let me show you a little bit of the software, and I showed you this before, but very cool unlock screen right there. And the UI is very fast. It is a skin over it, but I think that it looks pretty good. And the dialer looks pretty simple, big, easy to use. And you can see that when you swipe down, you can see the shortcuts up there for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and things like that. And multitasking looks a little different. For the multitasking menu, also has these little mini apps on there, and that's pretty cool as well. And you can run those and get more from the Google Play Store, move them around, little quick apps that you can do. I don't know how much you'll use them, but they're a good inclusion. And this is the 13 megapixel camera here, and this is a brand new sensor, and you can see that superior auto mode happening on the left side, where it kind of picks your best mode and to get you your best shot. So I'll definitely test this camera out for us. A lot of the early reviewers said it's really not the best camera out there, but it is 13 megapixel. Lots of different choices here, which I really like. The camera UI looks definitely different than the Sony phones of prior, so I'm definitely looking forward to looking at this camera in depth. So watch for my camera test videos and HDR videos and things like that as well, for this camera can do a lot. So definitely stay tuned for that. So what do you guys think of the Sony Xperia Z? You think it will be able to hold up with HTC's One or the Oppo Find 5, Samsung Galaxy S4? I think it's a really good intro for Sony this year. This may not be the flagship device for this entire year, but they're definitely starting it off right. Nice 5-inch 1080p screen here. You can see how vibrant the colors are here, and with really good build quality. And definitely has something unique to the game, especially with this dustproof and waterproof situation where most phones really do not have that in this form factor. They're usually really bulky or rubbery to give you that kind of protection. So a new flagship smartphone with a lot of different choices, really good specs, and I'm interested to see what you want. I mean, do you want me to do more comparison videos versus the iPhone 5, Nexus 4, Galaxy S3, Apple Find 5, or what do you want to see in the full review? Data connectivity, benchmarks, whatever you want to see, go ahead and put them in the comments below, and please subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.